for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
We made it. We made it back to Monday. It's like a whole new week. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah. Hope you had a good weekend. My Broncos lost. Kind of sad, but I have a feeling I'll get over it. Yeah. I have a feeling I will work through it. Oh, I had fun watching it. It's all that really matters, right? It's our attitude, how we take things. There's a lot of different ways to look at a lot of different things, and yeah, I'm talking nonsense, aren't I? Let's talk a little bit about the spiritual experience, spiritual awakening before we get started today. The spiritual awakening is going to be weird because you're going to be empty first. You're going to be a shell of a person first. You must remove everything. That's why that third step is so important. Okay? It's a very important step. I don't want to claim that it's the most important step, but gosh, I might stick a flagpole in that one, man. The whole program is dependent upon how well and earnestly you give yourself over to a power greater than yourself. Now, if you start out with a little bit is probably what you're going to kind of get back. What about that? Half measures avail us nothing. Yeah, but even a good two-stepper will get some benefits from the program. You're going to get some. All right. Be selfish about this. God wants to give you. Don't you like gift giving? You like gift giving? Well, so does God. Yeah. Hey. But the thing is you're going to feel like nothing before you become something. And it is the process of ego deflation. It is a process. And the process works. Yep. The process works. All right. Morning, Leisure. Good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Give me 1 second. I meant to grab my well, I shouldn't call it that because there are drug users that listen to this. My gum numbing, or what non-drug addicts call Oragel. Give me 1 second. I'll be careful. All right. The mouth is slowly getting better, and by slowly, I mean this might as well just be a spiritual experience. That's how slowly it is happening. All right. All right. Now that Dion is comfortable in his own skin again, you know what time it is. What time is it? It's joke time. Welcome to the segment. I'm going to start breaking these up into segments. All right. So it's going to kind of be the same thing. I'll have an opening, things like that. All right. So should we go with, let's go with dark dad jokes today. Not usually big on dark ones. It depends. I don't like when they get, there's some jokes I don't jump for. I don't go for. Right. And dad jokes need to be clean. They need to be clean. Dad jokes are always kind of that way. Morning, Heather. Good to see you. I was going to tell a joke about the layoffs, but sadly, none of them work. Right. What's the hardest tea to swallow? You might have this tea on your shelf. Reality. These are a little dark, aren't they? Why did the employee at the calendar company get fired? He took a day off. All right. Some people won't get this. I don't think some people get this joke. Never date a tennis player. Love means nothing to them. That's how they keep score. Okay, one more, and then we'll get started. You don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You need one to go skydiving twice. Okay. That wasn't even funny. All right. So, with that, welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. We're going to be in the big book today. They want us at 152. 152? 152. Yes, 152. That's where we're going to be in the big book today. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. You know, did you know other shows that do what I do? They have like producers and stuff. Yeah, I'm doing everything over here. Or I'd probably be a lot more prepared. You probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. Yeah. All right. So 152. Let's see if this is where we should start, though. Should we just go ahead and start? Let's go ahead and start on page 151, which is the beginning of a vision for you. So we'll start there. All right. So chapter 11, a vision for you. Have you ever stopped to think of the title? Did you even stop to think about chapter 11 or the title? Probably not. Did you cover a vision for you? Not the chapter, the line. Why is it called that? Well, it's the last chapter. And we want you walking away with a little bit of hope. We're going to give you a vision for you is what your life is going to be like now. How things are going to change for you. How your life's going to be different. This is the part of the big book of what it's like now. Okay. So for most normal folk, those normal folk out there, and don't you start. We know we're talking about non-alcoholics here. Don't you do it. Don't do it. No such thing as normal now. We know what we're talking about here. Stop arguing. Drinking means conviviality, companionship, and colorful imagination. For me, it did it every now and again. It worked that way for me every now and again. But only for a certain amount of time till I got drunk. And then that colorful imagination and companionship was gone. Yeah. I would get a certain amount of time each time. But I always pushed it. I pushed it past the conviviality. Because in my brain, more alcohol meant more conviviality. That's the way my brain works. It thinks it's going to get more of that. No. It means release from care, boredom, and worry. Oh, it sure did do that. So much that I didn't care about anything. It is the joyous intimacy with friends and a feeling that life is good, but not so for us in those last days of heavy drinking. The old pleasures were gone. They were but memories. Now, here's the thing, is we did have some good times in drinking. Like the first time that I drank with other people, I started drinking alone before I started drinking with other people. My life's a bit odd. Nobody said, "Hey, Dion, try this beer." No, I just grabbed a beer from underneath my mom's bed. That's what adults did. And I thought I was an adult. I thought I was different. I thought I was unique. Well, I was different, not unique. Let's see, when I had that drink with those other 13-year-olds, and suddenly everybody thought I was cool, and, and this was probably a misnomer. They probably didn't think that at all. I don't know, but the feelings changed. I could feel it. I could feel it. Okay. Now it says the old pleasures were gone; they were but memories. Now and then never could we recapture the great moments of the past. But I certainly tried. See, what was that to me? That first drink with everybody. Perfection. I thought it was perfect. I thought I was finally accepted that I was this. Oh boy, that liquid courage. And if you would tried to convince me at that time, I would have kicked you in the nuts. Nah, I would have made sure you were far, far away from me, telling me what to do. You know, fuck, I'm 13. I've already been raising kids. I do laundry. I know how to cook. I know how to clean the kitchen. I know how to do everything, man, by that point. So you can convince me otherwise. So what was I doing? See, I never really tried to drink like normal people. I never tried to hide my liquor. A lot of that stuff that you guys did, I didn't do because I didn't care. What was I trying to do? I was trying to fit in. I was just trying to be something because before that, I was nothing. So if you think you were going to take this away from me, it was the only thing in the world I fucking had that was mine. You know, year later, people are calling me an alcoholic, 14 years old. You know what my answer to that was? It was a resounding fuck you. I will do what I want, and you can't stop me. You can no longer physically stop me, right? I was trying to recapture that one moment. Never, ever, ever to find it again. If I got a prescription and it said, do not drink alcohol on these, I would get excited. Right on, a new level of drunk. Maybe I can find that perfection again. I got close a couple of times. Okay. But I was always trying to recapture the moments of the past. There was an insistent yearning to enjoy life as we once did, and the heartbreaking obsession that some new miracle of control would enable us to do it. There was always one more attempt and one more failure. All right. There again, I didn't try and control my drinking. I knew it was abstinence or game on. I knew that. I knew that there wasn't any separation there. I was already too educated by this time. I've been going to Alateen. My mom had gone through treatment. I'd learned some things there. And I knew that they weren't quite wrong, but gosh, I was 14 years old. I didn't even have a It's like I'm not even legal age to even smoke cigarettes yet. And that was 16 years old back then. Right. So that was when the legal drinking age was 18. I apologize if my fan gets too loud. My friend Monty Man hates my fan. It's too loud. If it does get too loud, let me know. I will turn it off. All right. So the less people tolerated us, the more we withdrew from society, from life itself. As we became subjects of King Alcohol, shivering denizens of his mad realm, the chilling vapor that is loneliness settled down. Leisure says, why would anyone want to control their drinking? Yeah. Why would you want to do that? What are you, stupid? Are you fucking stupid? What's wrong with you? Hey, kitty. Good morning. All right. So, alcohol took over. All right. We're gonna get more into this. It thickened, ever becoming blacker. Some of us sought out sordid places, hoping to find understanding, companionship, and approval. Yeah, we started seeking the dredges of society. Wasn't hard to do because you tend to attract what you are. Yeah. Whether you're currently, if you have a spiritual malady, then what you're going to attract is other people that want to stay sick in their spiritual malady with you. That's what you're going to attract. If you decide to take care of your spiritual malady, what'll happen is then you'll start attracting other people that are trying to become better. That's the way it works. Birds of a feather flock together. It can't be helped. It's an attraction. There is a spiritual connection. Okay. Now that spiritual connection doesn't understand whether it's bad or good. It doesn't understand that part. That's where you come in. That's where your intuition comes in. That's where your morals come in. Okay. Now, this part that we're talking about, you can certainly experience it. But I'm gonna fill you in on a little something here. And that is, okay, that if you've gotten into this program and you have gotten some information about it, if you get some time under your belt and you go back out, you are going to find a worse hell. You are going to find a new level of hell, a secret level of hell. Actually, it's not a secret. I'm sitting here telling you about it. It is not required to go this far. Get your ass back in AA. Do it. Don't wait till tomorrow. Quit saying you're going to do it tomorrow. Just stop it. Put some effort into yourself. You're worth it. You're worth it. It may not feel like you're worth it, but if you trust anything that I have to say, you are worth about any amount of energy you are willing to put into yourself or anyone else. You're fucking worth it. You may not know it yet. It may not feel that way yet, but trust me, it's true. Morning, Angel. It's good to see you. See, I went back out after 12 years of sobriety. And I was one of those guys, nobody ever thought for a second I was going to relapse. I was one of those guys. I was always doing service work. But I tell you now, you walk away from that stuff. There is no evening out. There is no score being recorded here. Let's put it that way. I owe, period. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the fact that I owe. Yeah, I caused a lot of destruction. Actually, I kind of feel like I've evened things out. I feel like I've made my restitution, but it's not enough. I've got to go a little bit further. So what am I doing now? Well, I'm creating insurance for my own sobriety. Each day I create insurance. I start by going live. It's one of the first things that I do, besides talking to God, waking up. Takes me about an hour to wake up, maybe a little bit longer. Yeah. Right. So we sought out sordid places, hoping to find understanding, companionship, and approval. And you usually did for a little bit. Yeah. You are a new person that could be abused. See, we sought out these sordid places. We do all these things, and then we come into the program. We think we have no trauma. Yeah. Leisure says, if you're desperate enough to quit drinking, there may not be a tomorrow for you to find a meeting. Yeah, there may not. You might drink yourself. You might drink so much tonight and fall asleep on your back and you asphyxiate on your vomit, and that could be it. And that could happen at any time. That could happen in your first blackout. Yeah. A good friend will put you on your side. This is what we call prevention. Yeah, it's a preventative measure. It's, harm reduction in a sense. All right. So momentarily we found companionship. Then would come oblivion and the awful awakening to face the hideous four horsemen: terror, bewilderment, frustration, despair. Unhappy drinkers who read this page will understand. And I know you understand it because, like you, I became friends with these people. These are four of my best friends. These are my ride or die guys right here. Oh, not only did we have fun, we caused destruction. It's that different level of hell that I'm talking about. See, this time I did not fear these four. I didn't fear them anymore because I didn't care if I died or not. So they gave me a horse and we went riding. And then I became that drunken horse thief. See, it all leads in, doesn't it? All right. I'm not going to do the drunken horse thief. Not this round. All right. So what happened? Yeah. And we went riding. Oh boy, did we go riding. And we rode through hell. Yeah, we rode through hell and made fun of people. Because see, I was on my high horse. See how all of it all fits. How does all this connect? Because it's supposed to. All right. So yeah, I was on my high horse. I thought I was better than you. Or I thought I was less than you. But to find out, we're all equal. We're all equal. Did I say hi, Amber? If I didn't, hi. And good morning. Both our teams lost yesterday. But my team's not 0-2. Of course, you're a Bronco fan too, or a Donko fan, according to you. So both your teams lost yesterday. So sorry. When they lose, they're your team. Now and then, a serious drinker, you'll hear this all the time. Being dry at the moment, I don't miss it all. Feel better, work better, having a better time. I understand this. I have felt this way too. Yeah. And it's not, it isn't going to just, like Friday. I was Thursday, Friday, one of those days. I was too excited for my own good. A lot of the weekend I was excited. It wasn't until yesterday when I'm like, okay, Dion, if this happens, we'll see if it happens. All right. All right. Work better, having a better time. As ex-problem drinkers, we smile at such a Sally. We know our friend is like a little boy, is like a boy whistling in the dark to keep up his spirits. How do we know? Oh, I got this. Oh, I get it. I understand. And you're, 60 days. Oh, I've got this. That's the key. That's how we know. When you think you got it all by yourself. When we hear you talking and there's not much humility in what you're saying. When we're not giving glory to God, when we're not understanding that we are only here by the grace of God. That's actually not the only reason. You made a decision and good job. You decided to go that way. So you did have a part in it. You did. We know our friend is like a little boy. Inwardly, he fools himself. Inwardly, he would give anything to take half a dozen drinks, and here's the key, and get away with them. And get away. See, now where's the excitement coming in? Getting away with it. It isn't the drinking itself. It is the thought that you're getting away with something. That is the alcoholic mind. And that is the problem. That's why we can be addicted to anything that makes us feel good. Kleptomaniacs, they steal. They steal because they get a thrill out of stealing. There's nothing else to it. All right. Wow. And I understand that too. I get it. All right. Nothing like your first unsupervised weekend. All right. What are you going to do with your time? See, this is what we call lurking notions. And we cannot live with lurking notions. A lurking notion means that, okay, like, okay, if my daughter ever gets married, I can have a drink at her wedding. That would be a lurking notion. Because you know your daughter's probably going to get married sooner or later. So what have you done? Well, now you've created a goal. And it's not a good goal. All right. Now, if you stick around the program and do the work, probably going to get rid of that lurking notion. And then you'll be proud that you walked your daughter down the aisle and you didn't have to be drunk to do it. That you were able to do it, and you'll be proud of yourself. Yeah. So think of it that way. Right? Think of what'll happen when if you want to drink, you know, that think, it really comes into play. First, think the drink through. All the way through to the consequences. Good or bad, think through to the consequences. Right? So the first part is you're thinking that drink through. Second part, you know, is think about the next few days after that drink and what that's gonna feel like. Because I tell you now, that guilt, you can bring that guilt back. You'll feel it. And then the third thing is think about what would happen if you did not drink. What would the benefits be? See, think is just a pros and cons list that you can do real quick in your head. The pros or cons, right? He will presently try the old game again, for he isn't happy about his sobriety. He cannot picture life without alcohol. Someday, he will be unable to imagine life either with alcohol or without it. Then he will know loneliness such as few do. He will be at the jumping off place. He will wish for the end. And we mean that very much what it says. You will. You'll be begging for death. It sucks. Because dead would be better than this. Well, you know, withdrawal from alcohol can kill you. Benzos and alcohol. Those are the only two. And even then, benzos aren't even a close second to alcohol. Right? But what is this place right here? This right here is the gift of desperation. This is usually the turning point. This is usually where we get people. Right? So, we have shown you how we get out from under. You say, yes, I am willing. But am I to be consigned to a life where I shall be stupid, boring, and calm like some righteous people I see? Well, if you have a shit attitude like that, yes. If you want to have a crappy attitude like other righteous folk you see, then the answer is yes. But no. Even the harder topics that I have here, even when I'm crying, even when it's sad, we still have there's still a little bit of humor in there. That there's going to be humor in there somewhere. I have to be able to laugh at things. Some things are just silly and you got to laugh at them. Right? I tell you now, this live is nothing close to stupid, boring, and glum or nobody. I'd never have anybody here. We couldn't have a little bit of fun. All right. Now, why do I get to do that? Because I know who Dion is now. And Dion's a little out there. He is. I'm okay with it. Doesn't bother me. You know, been a while since somebody told me I was too much. It was kind of nice, right? I know I must get along without liquor, but how can I? Have you a sufficient substitute? Not only do we have a sufficient substitute, we have something bigger and better than alcohol. Mm-hmm. And it's more than just one thing. First, it's the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. Let's go ahead and read that paragraph, because otherwise I'm going to repeat it out loud. Yes, there is a substitute, and it's vastly more than that. It is the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. There, you will find release from care, boredom, and worry. Your imagination will be fired. Life will mean something at last. The most satisfactory years of your existence lie ahead. Thus, we find the fellowship, and so will you. Right. Yeah, it does happen. It happened to me. It happened to me. And if it happened for me, it can happen for anybody. I deal with things that, you know, I'll give you kind of an idea, and we all have our stuff. We do, and I'm not saying my life's tougher than yours or was tougher or anything because I don't know. All right, like I have super empathy, and sometimes I'll see a dog or a little child or something, and my heart just fucking melts, man. And then I feel guilty because there's nothing I can do about it, and I wish I could. Happens to me all the time. I have to be very careful what I watch, what I look at. All right. Because it'll change my whole mood real quick. All right. So I do things like this. I make sure that I stay in contact with my fellowship. I have contact with at least one person in my fellowship every single day. Got 4 of them right here, right now. 4 people that are in my fellowship. I can call any of these 4 people at any time, and they will most likely answer the phone and say, "What's going on? What can I help you with, Dion?" And that's just 4 of them. It's weird. It's weird to think that people actually want me around. And you will feel that way also. Because AA is about unconditional love and loving you for who you are, because I've gotten rid of my own expectations too. And when we can support each other in being who we are, and it leaves room for growth. It creates more. It's hard to describe, but it's the ripple effect, right? Now, this is usually where about the place where we tend to end. But it goes on to give us clear-cut directions on how you're supposed to do it. So let's get into that a little bit before we end. How is that to come about? You ask, where am I to find these people? Now listen, you are going to meet these new friends in your own community. Near you, alcoholics are dying helplessly like people in a sinking ship. If you live in a large place, there are hundreds. 1 in 10 people is alcoholic. Okay. Amongst your neighbors, there's another 2 or 3 alcoholics. Some may be drinking, some may be not. Okay. Now we've got it kind of easy now because the meetings are there. We just have to show up to the meeting. So I always want you to go a little bit more forward, a little bit further. If you have a chance to be able to go to a detox and help people out, why not do it? I'm trying to get people to do that. Angel just said my ride along was anything but boring. Okay. She's riding along with police officers so that she can help in her community. That's exactly. See, it is this. If you want to find your fellowship, you're going to have to go out and help other alcoholics. That's what we're talking about. It is the number one way to heal. It is the number one way to get better. It is the best way to get out of what? Yourself. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to change the world, but if you can help somebody, if you can help one person that day change their attitude, if you can help one person each day have a better day, it will have an effect. It's like adding 2 plus 2, then 4 plus 4, then right, then 8 plus 8, then 16, and see how it adds, and it starts to double, and it does it real quick. So you've got a little bit easier now. Before, you would have had, I tell you now, social media has made it, the internet has made it easier for you to do this, right? And we utilize it. Why not utilize it if we can? It's just another medium to reach other people. That's how I utilize it, right? If you live high and low, rich and poor, these are future fellows of Alcoholics Anonymous. Among them, you will make lifelong friends. You will be bound to them with new and wonderful ties, for you will escape disaster together, and you will commence shoulder to shoulder your common journey. Then you will know what it means to give of yourself that others may survive and rediscover life. You will learn the full meaning of love thy neighbor as thyself. Yep. In fact, I have some new neighbors moving in. House has been empty for a little bit, right? And it was weird. And see, since I'm an alcoholic, I look at things differently, right? But they were showing up, right, and putting stuff in the garage, and it was just a little weird to me. And then I thought about, it, I'm like, Dion, I've not heard them. I haven't heard them at all. They're quiet. It's not like they're over there blaring music or anything. Actually, it looks like I've got some pretty good neighbors. See? But I was already looking for things that they might be doing wrong because this is my house. Well, that isn't my house over there. Okay. But I don't need shitty neighbors. Is one thing that'll drive me crazy. Okay. So God, he gave me a good set. But what did I do? Well, I went searching for the bad shit first. Oh, what are they doing? Are they going to do? According to my, yeah, no. Yeah. Were they doing things a little weird? Yeah. Then they moved the rest of their shit in yesterday. So there you go. I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. Right. Now, to me, this is a pretty big deal. It may not be for you, but the fact that I got to go from being a helpless chronic alcoholic to helping God save his children is a big deal to me. All right. It may seem incredible that these men are to become happy, respected, and useful once more. How can they rise out of such misery, bad repute, and hopelessness? The practical answer is that since these things have happened among us, they can happen with you. Should you wish them above all else and be willing to make use of our experience, we are sure they will come. The age of miracles is still with us. Our own recovery proves that. And now we have 90 years of proof. 90 years of proof that the system works. AA is not antiquated. In fact, it is always ahead of everybody else. It is. AA is still ahead of its time. You can't deny 90 years of success. When you say it's antiquated, what you're saying is, I don't want to do the work. That is the honest answer. There's a fear there, and we understand that fear. All right, let's get to today's reading. A New Life. Yes, there is a substitute who is vastly more than that. It is a fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. Life will mean something at last, and that is probably the biggest deal for us alcoholics, that life means something. Because when life means something, that means that there is something worth living for. And that's a big deal. Life is better without alcohol. I would agree. There we go. Thank you. AA in the presence of a higher power keeps me sober, but the grace of God does even better. It brings service into my life. Okay. Did you know that God creates service work for you? Did you know that God creates service work for you? Not Your service work isn't my service work. He creates service work in particular to you. Yeah. All right. Contact with the AA program teaches me a new and greater understanding of what Alcoholics Anonymous is and what it does. But most importantly, it helps to show me who I am, an alcoholic who needs the constant experience of Alcoholics Anonymous so that I may live a life given to me by a higher power. All right. So I'm gonna kind of end with this. There is no amount of time that qualifies you not going to a meeting. There is no amount of time that qualifies you from not doing service work or not working your steps or helping somebody else out. Okay. There's no award for that. Okay. We use the AA program to strive the best that we can each day. Because without purpose, we alcoholics wither and die. We need purpose in our lives. Everybody does. Everybody's like that. It's a survival thing. Feeling like you actually have a place in this world, that you actually fucking belong in it. And that's what's great about Alcoholics Anonymous. And it still works. And it still works better than any other program out there. AA still helps more people than all other programs combined. Okay. I'm watching Celebrate Recovery do some silly things, man. They ain't gonna be around in a few years. They keep aligning themselves with these other people. Okay. Churches taking over. Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Pastor, but you're not an alcoholic. I appreciate that you're trying to help me find my higher power, whatever, but you're over here thinking that, now Celebrate Recovery saying they can pretty much fix anything. I'm like, no, you can't. We gotta watch it. We are not the fixer of all things. I would like us to be. AA certainly seems to be the landing spot for a lot of people, but what we do is we help them find their own groups. Sometimes they stick around, sometimes, but we want to make sure that you get the help that you need. Okay. Well, AA, I understand, is the grandpappy, but that does not mean that we are the beating stick. It does not mean that we are the scapegoat of the 12 steps. That is not what that means. Okay. And I won't allow it to be abused. It's got to be in the right place at the right time, man. It really does. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great Monday. It's always good to see all my friends. All my friends. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.